walking according to the prince of the power of the air. That's what the Apostle Paul says about a person before they come to the enlightenment or the quickening, as he refers to in Ephesians chapter 2, when he talks about people who come to a spiritual enlightenment in their lives, and they realize that they are spiritual and that God is spiritual, and there's a connection. And as I said before, when that happens to a person, they change. And it may not be so obvious in the very, very beginning, but then everything in life takes on a different perspective. And you begin to see things in a different way. And over the process of time, God begins to do a work in that person's life. And to me, that is just one of the most wonderful things to watch and behold. If you've known a person who they were just carnal, just everything about them, they just dripped carnality. And then God brought this quickening into their lives, and they began to change, and things begins to happen. And you see, there are people who go to church every Sunday, and they're in church all the time. Every week they're in church, but they've not received the enlightenment. They have not been quickened, because even though they're doing things that seemingly are religious, there is no reckoning of the fact that they're spiritual and that they can have a relationship with a spiritual God. Because when a person has had this quickening, they measure things in life in a different way. And I go back to the little song that we've heard back in the 70s. We used to sing it, where it talks about that the things of earth grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. You see, things begin to take a different perspective when a person has received that opening of their eyes to realize that there's a spiritual life and that they have a role in it. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And the thing about it is that there are times when people just get written off by friends and loved ones and different ones. They just write them off because they say, man, that guy is so wicked, or that person is so wicked. There's absolutely no hope for them. And then somebody begins to pray for them and just begins to love them and see them in a different perspective and just begin to pray for them. And then God does a miracle. It's life-changing, a great transformation, and that person who seemed to be beyond hope will find hope. And their lives will just become different. And next thing you know, they realize that they are a child of God, truly, truly transformed and born again. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.